Let's welcome Gatima Lima, a policy analyst, to have a few conversations with us on the economic direction. Good morning. It's good to have you.
I haven't seen you in a while.
You've listened to the Vice President here?
Exactly.
Very clear?
Very clear.
What are your thoughts?
Policy, Pious statements, one thing. They've done extremely very well when it comes to the issue of the Boko Haram. There's no doubt about it, because one of the pillars of the APC, the principle of the administration, the manifesto, was A, fighting corruption, B, the security issue, and then C, the economy. And on the aspect of the corruption, the convictions of governors and so many other things, yes. But then when it comes down to the economy, you've just seen what the Brookings Institute, Washington, has said, that Nigeria, 83 million Nigerians are living in extreme poverty. So whether or not the economic agenda of the APC administration has impacted on the 83 million Nigerians is another story to tell.
The Vice President talked about the social-democratic economic principles the administration said. This administration prides itself as a socialist economy.
Well, of course, it's not bad to be socialist, or it's not even bad to be capitalist. Like the Chinese Prime Minister said, whether it is a white cat or the black cat, that if you can actually catch the mouse, that's what they are more interested about. The reality is this: when you win elections in a developing country, you bring to the table development economics. People are talking about this budget. It's micromanagement. There is no way I can see how this particular budget can address the humongous requirements of the Nigerian poverty conundrum. It's not possible, because we've been addressing this problem using the same model that had been used in the past antiquity and up to the present time. Now, if you're saying you're going to implement a budget of a development country, first of the things that you must see is to increase the pie. I'm not seeing in this
the size of the budget.
The size of the budget. Now, what Donald Trump did when he came, very wisely, he frightened the Muslim community, and then at the end of the day went to Saudi Arabia and got about $300 to $400 billion of arms sale. He went to Bahrain, got about this. So Donald Trump right now has about close to about $500 billion US that he can begin to do his infrastructure renewal and things like that. This is what I was expecting His Excellency Buhari administration to do. Begin to look at, okay, what Yar'Adua had as a model. Yar'Adua said, look, I am a collateral-rich oil and gas, collateral mineral-rich nation, and anybody who wants to do with, business with me, let him front-load $100 billion US. And the Chinese came with $50 billion. You remember during that time. And then with the $50 billion US, he was now about to roll out until sickness did its other things and all that. I've not seen in this particular economy, as this administration is transiting towards its exit or its re-entrance, I've not seen the humongous magnitude of money that will turn around this national economy. It's not possible with this little budget that will eventually go into pockets of senators in terms of salary or pockets of executive in terms of
9 trillion naira?
No, it's peanuts for the size of the economy, because if you have seen what Obasanjo, His Excellency, there shouldn't be quarreling, Buhari and Obasanjo. They should be friends. This economy doesn't need this kind of distraction.
No,
but the most important thing is that during his time, he did what he called you knew about it when we were doing a lot of this analysis during the National Economic Empowerment Development, strategy, the NEED strategy.
Yes.
He involved professors. How much does Nigeria need in terms of the, the budget for me to do the infrastructure renewal? They told him, Your Excellency, for Nigeria to turn around, you need something close to about $100 billion US. How you get it? Through privatization, through attracting foreign investors and all that kind of thing. It almost happened. It almost happened, but we're still not there yet. Until we're able to get the money component of the implementation of a strategy. We've gotten the ideas, that is the men, the material, you're talking about infrastructure, roads. They're still in the same dilapidated state. And there is no way you're going to turn around the economy.
The current administration is spending rapidly moving forward. Are you encouraged by that?
No, not at all. Because now look at it. As a logistics expert, I can tell you, you can't depend on roads and roads alone. And even if you want to do the roads with the potholes and all that, do you have enough time? Whatever the rail system, it's a long gestation project, mind you,
yes,
for you to have the rail system.
So the administration is building forward into the next administration, perhaps.
No, you see, when you have crisis in logistics, you bring what you call the Army Corps of Engineers. It's been done in other climes, in USA, in Britain, and all that kind of a thing. Like this Apapa conundrum that we have. You can really roll out badges. You can really call the army engineers, and you can look. Nigeria's development paradigm was built on 4 refineries with the depots and all that. This has crashed. So now we are importing. You don't have any infrastructure for the importation. So therefore, you have all these tank drivers, inundating the roads, crashing the so-called resurfaced roads and all that. When you want to have pipelines, for instance.
So we don't have infrastructure for refining locally? We don't have infrastructure for
even the importation, exactly. And that's why the roads are clogged.
Do you think we should quickly sell? What do you think we should do with the 4
I've always said that these refineries, you can sell them for $1, and you start a green field. And Indians have done it. They've come out with the new refineries. I thought Pt.1 was talking about by 2017 we should have refineries. I've not heard him talking, the Minister of State for Petroleum, talking about, because I think he's ashamed of himself that there's no refinery after this. I'm sorry to say that.
No, he says by 2019.
He has moved now to 2019.
No, he said by 2019 year end, he will leave office if Nigeria does not have sufficiency in domestic petrol products. But we'll take you back to what the Vice President says over the weekend regarding the party, because this is the future of Nigeria, at least going to the next elections, and what will likely happen, no one is sure about that. But at least the parties, according to the Vice President, said they've worked very hard in the past 3 years. It says to govern, and this is, I'm just going to, he said, they have outlined issues that are central to realizing our desire to upturn the pyramid. Majority of people should earn enough to live decently, have access to education and health care for themselves, free education, and the opportunities for prosperity as entrepreneurs and business owners.
2 models, Bolson, 2 models. There's the Keynesian economic model that talks about government coming in with a muzzle to turn around the economy. There's the Milton Friedman school of thoughts that you empower the rich, privatization, and trickle down. We've found out that in developing countries with a lot of these loopholes, the trickle down theory had not worked. So the government policy, okay, before you had supplies, contracts that will empower people. Now you go through public procurement. So even when the budget comes out, it's the multinationals and all those people that have the capacity to execute the contract that will do. Because you wouldn't, small scale, will not have the requirements for procurement management and all those other things for the Nigerian nation. So how are you going to empower the common man within this short period of time? It's a pious statement.